Hey everybody, welcome to Ask a Trader for January 2025. I am back after a hiatus from doing Ask a Trader. It's been quite some time, but we are going to now be doing these on a recurring monthly basis towards the end of the month so we can kind of wrap up what has transpired in the markets and just kind of give a preview for what to look forward to next month. February is tomorrow, Saturday, February 1st. So we're wrapping up what has been a volatile January. And really the way that Ask a Trader works is I give an overview, but I'm really here to answer any questions that you may have. So the chat is set up for you. If you have questions, if you want me to look at a ticker, if you have a chart you'd like me to look at, just go ahead and throw it in there. And I would be more than happy to look at that for you. But what we are going to do is start taking a look at the broader markets, see where we are, talk about how we got here, and I'm going to answer your questions. So give me 1 second. Let me get the SPX up here on the chart. Let me share, and bang, there we go. So here is the S&P 500 index as of today. And you can see right now it is 233. We are a bit red. And if I go into the 3-minute chart, you could see that earlier today we had pushed up. We got close to new all-time highs. And then here, probably around, what is that, 12:30, we started to show some weakness and sell down a little bit. And today, the reason why we popped is because PCE data came in line with expectations, and everybody was feeling good. The markets were running up. But then just a little bit ago, President Trump announced tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and I believe China as well. And that caused the subsequent dip. The reason being is a lot of economists and investors see tariffs as inflationary, and that's why you're seeing this pronounced sell-off. However, I will point out that if you go back to yesterday, something similar happened around 327. You had this big sell-off, but then the market got bought back up into close. So we'll see if we get a similar pattern here today on this. So again, we are red, but notice too, we did fill this gap. We had a gap down on Monday off of news about a Chinese AI company known as DeepSeek, who made the claim that they were able to create a large language model that didn't use a lot of high-powered compute NVIDIA chips, and that they did it for a fraction of the cost what bigger companies like ChatGPT via OpenAI have done. And so that really sent the market into a frenzy. And you could see here, this was last Friday. There was a bit of a sell off. And then we gapped down pretty significantly below the 50-day moving average, simple moving average, which was then bought up. And we've been on a run since then. So it's really, there's nothing crazy about this selling today. The market does need to take a rest, a little bit of a cool off. And we'll see what happens moving into February because, again, there still is a lot of uncertainty in terms of how the economic policies of a new administration is going to impact the markets. We can see how they are reacting currently to tariff news. And so we just have to continue to monitor and see how things are going to play out. If we take a look at the QQQ, this is the technology index, you can see kind of the same thing. We had a push higher earlier today off of inline PCE, and then the same thing, that tariff news came in and we got a dip. And if we take a look at the Qs here on the daily chart, you can see that we did fill this gap. We started pushing higher, but got rejected. We'll see how we close. We still have quite a bit of time before market close at 4 p.m., but this is where we stand right now. And then if we take a look at Bitcoin sold off as well on Monday with the DeepSeek news, found some support at the 50 EMA before coming back, pushing higher. And then we actually did get up to 106, back up to 106 again on the 30th, which was yesterday. So it did make a nice little bit of a push, and we're now selling back down, finding some support there at the 20. And so just looking at some individual tickers to highlight from this week, Microsoft had a massive gap down off of their earnings. They have not had a gap up on earnings in 5 reports. So the last 5 reports have either been gap downs or gap ups and faded down and ended lower than where they started. So a lot of weakness there. And really, Microsoft has just been moving sideways since last January. So this thing has to make a move or it's about to fall off a cliff. If we take a look at Meta, Meta made new all-time highs this week off of earnings. It is since selling down a little bit. And, real strong move here, new all-time highs. Their earnings are in the book. Same thing with Tesla. We had a decent move off of earnings on Tesla after moving sideways a bit. And you could see today made a nice move higher, but is selling off along with everything else here in the markets as we push into the end of the day. And Apple reported yesterday, and you could see they did gap up, but that price jump did not hold, and it sold off. And you could see we have that's a Marabuzzo candle, and that's a bearish engulfing candle. So more than likely, we're going to see more downside on Apple into next week. So just keep an eye on that. That's a very powerful bearish candle. And because we're seeing weakness there, we're seeing weakness in the rest of the market. But the news of the week came from NVIDIA, because from Friday to Monday, this was from the high of Friday to the low of Monday, it was a $32 move to the downside. And NVIDIA has been the king of AI, the king of the markets for quite some time. But with that big of a drop, that's what sent the broader markets down. And it's trying to find some support here at this 200 simple moving average on the daily. We'll see if we get a bounce out of here, if this gap can get filled. And really what we're going to be watching for is earnings on February 26th. Okay. And so just what are we looking at next week? Well, we're going to have Google earnings, which are going to be coming up on Tuesday. We also have Amazon earnings ahead of us, which are Thursday. And do we have any other big boys? I think that's it in terms of the big boys for next week. And then if we come over and take a look at the data that we're going to get next week in our first week of February, on Monday, we're going to get ISM manufacturing PMI, which will move the markets. And you can find this data if you just click on this calendar down here on the right-hand side of your trading view, and you click on it and you click on economic, it will show you the data that's coming up. And then depending on how many bars are listed next to it, that tells you how important that data is and what type of impact it can have in terms of moving the markets. So that ISM manufacturing PMI will definitely have an impact. We have some Fed speakers that are going to be out there on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to have JOLTS job openings. That's going to be at 10 a.m. That's going to move the market a bit. Wednesday, we do have ADP employment change, so we'll get to see the health of the labor market. And then we get ISM services PMI, which is another one that's going to give a move to the market. That's at 10 a.m. And then when we come into Thursday, we get initial jobless claims. So we'll be watching that. And then on Friday, we're going to get non-farms payroll and unemployment rate. So again, more gauges of how healthy the labor market is. So we'll be watching that pretty closely. And I'm just going to stop here to see if you guys have any questions. And if not, that is okay. I'm not going to hold you up here on this Friday. It feels good to be back doing this Ask a Trader. And again, I'll have this segment running monthly. So just be on the lookout for the post for it. A lot of new stuff coming from Courage, Pays Better Than Fear Trading, that I'm excited to share with everyone as the year goes on. If you ever need anything, you could message me on Facebook or email me at couragepaysbetter@gmail.com. Would be more than happy to help you with anything related to your trading. And if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment on this, share with your family and friends, and I will see you back here the next time we do Ask a Trader in February, more than likely at the end of the month. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to let you go about your Friday. Have a great day. Take care. And remember, courage pays better than fear. Take care, everyone.